It's time for some Fallout 76 news. We've got some brand new details about a big preview that is coming up for Fallout 76, plus some clarification about the beta release date. And also, we're going to be talking about a little bit about cosmetics, and then more details on vaults, multiplayer servers, matchmaking, and offline play, and so much more. So guys, we have a lot to go over. Welcome back, my fellow Wasteland Wanderers and Vault Dwellers. Welcome back to Open World Games. Let's do this. So, let's begin, first of all, with the next big preview and those beta details. So, first of all, Andrew Raniere of Game Informer revealed that his big Fallout 76 piece hits next week. Lots of new information that should give you a great idea of what to expect from this experience. And then he also confirms that he's going to be approaching this preview, this story, as a Fallout fan first and foremost, wanting to know what makes it Fallout. You'll want to read this, end quote. What a tease. So, yeah, we'll be checking out Game Informer next week. So hyped for that. That's when we'll be getting into also early September as well, which you guys know what that means. Spider-Man and Shadow of the Tomb Raider. But yeah, get hyped next week. Big Game Informer preview. I will have the complete breakdown right here on Open World Games. So whatever you do, subscribe to the channel. Hit that subscribe button, but don't forget to turn on notifications. Smack that bell icon as well, so you never miss another Fallout 76 update. So yeah, let's talk about that beta. So there's some rumors going around Reddit and the community right now about the beta date. So this was released out on, GameStop. You can find the link in the description below, of course, so you can see it for yourself. But the date says that Fallout 76 would be available on October 12th, which of course is not the case. We know officially that we will be getting a beta for Fallout 76 starting in October, and beta testers will be randomly selected, and the pool will start out small but grow over time before the game's official release. So could this mean, this October 12th here, mean that that's a start date for Fallout 76's beta? Well, let's see what Pete Hines from Bethesda has to say about this one. He goes on to say, nope, that's a typo. So from what he is saying, he believes it's just a typo, and October 12th would not be considered the date for the beta. And October 12th actually falls on a Friday, and a lot of the PSN and Xbox stores update around Tuesday, I believe, or Wednesday. So that is not falling in line with their updates, which would be more on, let's see here, October 16th and then the 17th, and then you have the 9th and 10th. So those might be the dates. We'll see what happens. I'll keep you updated with what happens with that. Now, in a recent IGN interview, there were some more details as to what to expect from this upcoming beta. Let's dive into that right now, shall we? So this is the comments here from Pete Hines. It says, it's interesting and exciting, but I'm also going into this having done this enough to know this is definitely not going to go perfectly. There's just no universe. Nobody's ever done it and has been like, oh, zero problems. There's not a single thing that went wrong. End quote. So yeah, expect problems with the beta. It's a beta for a reason. That's what it's called. And it's more like early access because you're going to be downloading the full game and get access to the full experience in a way, and then your progress is going to be able to carry over to the full game that you buy, by the way. So your beta progress is going straight into the full launch of the game as well. He goes on to say this, we just have to be ready for that. That's in part what the beta is. Break it early, test the application. It's a joke, but you need to break it early. We have to find what problems we can find and then fix it and figure out if the process that we put in place to fix it holds it. If not, we have to change those and do it again. We need you to break something else. End quote. So this is going to be quite the process, and they're really trying to warn people about what to expect from this beta. They're saying it's going to be like early access, it's going to be a beta, it's going to break. But you know what? I'm really looking forward to exploring this big open world and checking out a lot of this world. even though, you know, we're going to expect to have problems. I remember GTA Online had a horrible launch. It would not run at all within the first month, and then they gradually nailed down everything. And that's what these companies are doing with a lot of the online experiences, especially if these companies are brand new to those experiences. So, also, he goes on to say this: I think we're on the right course and we'll be prepared as we can be, but no battle plan survives contact with the enemy. Ours certainly isn't going to either, but we are fully aware of what we signed up for, are committed to. We're going to be quick to respond, quick to adapt, and do all things we think we need to make it a great game. End quote. So there's that reassurance there, at least. Now, what about the Battle Royale trend? Is Bethesda looking at that, and would they consider it for Fallout 76? That's a really good question, and Pete Hines has had some interesting comments about that one as well. He says, this is not new, and he's referring to the popularity of Battle Royale genre. Remember that massive Facebook gaming trend? Everybody and their sister were running towards that. I got to get the games up on Facebook because that's where the money is. There have been all kinds of stuff like that at different points. They come and they go, end quote. And he's speaking about, I think, developing on the Facebook gaming platform as well. So yeah, Bethesda, they're not really interested in following trends around. And one thing that I'm really liking about Bethesda in regards to some of their single-player stuff is they keep releasing single-player experiences with Doom. You know, we have Doom Eternal coming up. We will be seeing Elder Scrolls 6. Starfield is going to be super single-player experience from what I understand. So they're still very much invested in single-player, although they're taking this, detour into Fallout 76 with this multiplayer experience. But, you know, speaking about single player, Pete Hines did have some interesting things to say about Fallout 76 in that regard. He goes on to say this: Fallout 76 promises to be a flexible experience. While playing with friends is the primary focus, Hines says it has something to offer those who like the moody solo exploration of previous Fallouts. He goes on to say this: I just go out and explore. I decide whether I'm going to try and do some big quests or a personal quest like putting a scope on a rifle I just went through the trouble to repair. I'm in this world where I'm just trying to survive, and I feel like I'm alone. I feel like I'm playing Fallout by myself. End quote. At least that's Pete Hines' take on the whole single player experience in Fallout 76. It is going to be an online only game, by the way, so there's a word of warning. Just remember that. So there were additional comments from Pete Hines also about cosmetics. Could we expect cosmetics to be sorted in rarity? So let's talk about that here. So Samuel out on Twitter asked Pete, hey Pete, will cosmetic items have a rarity system to them or not, such as legendary skins and that? Thanks. And Pete Hines gets back to Samuel by saying, I don't think so. Rarity doesn't really apply since you're just buying them in the store. Question mark? End quote. So, it sounds like we're not going to be getting rarities. This isn't like a loot crate experience. This isn't like Fortnite where things are randomized or anything like that. But I have to admit, it would be pretty cool to see cosmetics sorted by rarities. I think that would be pretty interesting. Power armor sorted by rarities, color-coded, so that we would know what's considered legendary and stuff like that. Although, of course, we're going to have to identify that ourselves just by the statistics. So yeah, let's talk a little bit about vaults. So there were some really interesting questions about vaults, matchmaking, how will they interact with the servers, and all sorts of good stuff. So you guys asked some really good questions out on Twitter at Pete Hines, who has been really good at responding to everyone as well. So Wright says this: if we enter a dungeon in Fallout 76, does it put us in a separate instance, sort of like how it works in MMOs? Basically, would you never encounter another player outside your party, say, in a vault? Pete Hines says this: no, it does not put you in a separate instance. It's not an MMO, end quote. So yeah, sounds like going into a vault or anything like that, underground, whatever, it sounds like you could still run into other players. So keep that in mind when traveling around the world in Fallout 76. So the next question was this from Karen, who says this: if there is a limit per server on Fallout 76, does this restrict matchmaking? Can everyone on the server potentially invite as many people as they want. And Pete says this. He says, there's a limit on how many people can be in an instance or server. It's a few dozen. It is definitely not invite as many people as they want. So there is going to be a cap. There is going to be a limit to how many people you can invite in this game. Don't expect it to be like hundreds of vault dwellers roaming around in the open world. That's not going to be how this game is working. Now, 49 Game Studio says this. Hey Pete, I saw your reply on the matchmaking with random players, and I was wondering, do you start in Vault 76 or go around discovering the locations every time you log on? End quote. That's actually a really good question. Pete says, no, all your progress remains as far as game locations. End quote. So, when you go out there in the world exploring, and you discover location, don't worry, that same location will already be discovered. There's going to be a sense of progress exploring this open world game map as you log in each time. It's not like it's going to be a complete refresh. You have to start all over. Nope, that's not how it's going to work. All of your progress is still going to be saved. Now, from what I understand from Pete Hines' previous comments, though, is that when you log into the game, you're logging into a different server basically every single time. So, what does this mean? You aren't logging in with the same people over and over again. That just means that if they, get ahead of you, you don't have to really worry about that too much. You don't have to worry about catching up to other players. I'm hoping that matchmaking is done in such a way in this game that they're trying to matchmake you with players of similar rank and level. That's going to be super important. But again, you can have yourself at like level 15, for example, and then play with a friend that's apparently at level 2. They allow this in this game, and they have scaling that they will be working with as well. So there were also some additional questions about those camps, and this is one of the features of the game that I'm personally super excited about. Let's talk about settlements and camps right now. So Seth says this. Also, will my camp remain in the same location after I've logged out, or will it be erased when entering a new server that was chosen for me? This is a big concern, because if you are building up your camp and your settlement, you don't want it completely erased next time you log in. So Pete says this, your camp would be in the same place. To your other question, no, you aren't digging or excavating, end quote. So apparently he also answered 2 questions there about digging or excavating when it comes to mining resources. That's not going to be something that you would expect to be doing like with equipment or anything like that. Sounds like you're going to be going up to those resources yourself and just grabbing them from the mines. Because yes, you will be collecting resources to, of course, build up your settlements. And again, there will be those big co-op settlement experiences as well, where you and your buddies can get together in specific locations, by the way, on the map and build up even bigger settlements. These are considered like your mega settlements in the open world game world, and they really push that cooperative feature with those type of settlements. Of course, yeah, you can go in and play it by yourself, but I think this is going to be heavily focused on co-op and playing with your friends and having that online experience finally make its way into Fallout 76. Let me know what you guys make of that. Do you like that? Do you prefer your Fallout games to be single player only? Again, P. Hines says, of course you can log in and play by yourself and just meet up with other players, try to trade with them, or run away from them, because to me, I think a lot of players will just start opening fire, but maybe that won't be the case. Maybe you will make a new BFFF, forever, best friend forever in this game, who knows? Or you might get nuked, but we'll see. But guys, stay tuned here to Open World Games for more details about Fallout 76. Look forward to that big preview. Remember, Andrew Rainier says that will be coming up next week, so look forward to that. Thank you guys so much for watching. Stay tuned for more, and I will see you guys soon enough in the Wasteland.